morning everybody, and it's an early morning here at the pond, old pond in Port Edward on the Mtamvuna River, just on my back doorstep. Water's nice and warm, hope not too warm. And as we're coming up here to one of my favorite spots, I see there's a whole lot of birds nesting here, a couple of hardy-daws and a couple of other birds as well. And that's normally a sure sign of some perch around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the motor, and I put two different size poppers on, one big tar stick, one small goby popper, and then we're going to work this area a little bit along the fringes. There's a couple of rocks, a couple of sunken trees and that, and see if there's a couple of rock salmon and maybe one or two perch hanging out there. There we go. On, Dad. Took a bit of time. So good. Nice little slab. Look at the bend in that little diver. Oh, nice fish. And look how you abused that popper. That's a good one. That's a very nice perch, that. Look how beautiful that is. I never get tired of catching these fish. They hit the lure with great vigor and they give you a good account, give a really good account of themselves. So this fish is warm. This water is warm, warm, warm. This fish feels like it's been in a lukewarm bath. It's amazing. So let's get him back because... Cheers, my boy. Right, like I said, that structure had to hold fish. It had all the components of what you're looking for when you topwater fishing in the river. Everything was there, even the fish was there. Very non-committal though. Probably hit the lure 5 times before you actually engulfed it. So must be the warm water. Let's see if we can get another one to bite. Yeah, what I know about bass fishing is dangerous, but from what I hear, doing this the popping in the rivers like this is almost exactly the same as popping for bass. What you got to do is you got to let that popper lie in the strike zone for the longest possible time. I see a lot of guys when they start, they throw the popper against the structure and just wind it straight out of there with a quick popping action. Sometimes it works, especially if the fish are feeding aggressively. But normally what you got to do is you got to throw that popper, you got to let those ripples settle, twitch it a little bit and just let it float. Often the bite comes when you're not even moving the popper, when you're just floating or when you're just watching, you're just doing something else. Often the rod will get pulled out your hand. So try and stay in the strike zone as long as possible, because you also want to irritate that fish. You also want to pique his curiosity so that he's going to bump it and see exactly what it is. A little bit of a smaller fish. Fun anyway. Oh, it's tiny. I think that's quite honestly the smallest perch I've ever caught on a popper. Tiny little perch. Let's get him back. There we go. I just threw my popper into the bush, but I knew there was a fish there, so I just picked up this little jerkbait, floating jerkbait. I knew he had to be there, and I knew we had to get him. There we go, it's a better one. Beautiful little perch. Another one, probably 1 kilo. Cheers, my boy. Right, I think that's perch done. Let's get this popper out of the bush there. Then we're going to go right to the top of the river. There's a little rapid that comes in there, and we're going to go and fish for a river roam in there, and maybe a kingfish. Come up to one of my absolute favorite spots on the Mtamvuna. It's as far as you can come with this little duck. You can't go any further. There's rapids here, and what I fish for here is river roaming, because they sit at the base of the rapids and obviously wait for food to be washed down. So we throw, if it's a bit cleaner, we normally throw top waters and allow them to float. But if it's dirty like this, we throw little jerk baits and we just pull them out of the current. And as they come out of the current, we just jerk them back slowly. And then what I'll do as well is I'll probably put a sardine head out here as well, just in case there's a big 4 or 5 kilo rock salmon that wants to eat that. And that's what we'll do. We'll give it a bash.
There we go. While I was busy throwing the lure, I put a side head out with a bit of chicken liver around it. And I actually saw the swirl while I was throwing the lure, and I went to throw the lure, but it was actually me on. I think it's a rock salmon, and he came to the top. Good fish. It's a very good fish. Oh, very good fish. Now, like I said yesterday when I was tackling up, or this morning, I put very heavy line on here on my spare spool. I got 50 pound braid on here, 35 pound leader. That's because these rock salmon are super strong and they just love the rock. And I got my Pro Z medium, heavy. It's got a lot of backbone, and my little XL Z 3000. Oh, there we go, guys. That's what we came here for. That's what we've been trying to target. Beautiful big river roman. Look at this fish. He's very pink. I don't know, it's because of the water's so colored. They also go a bit darker at times, and even very light, almost silverish. So look at those beautiful blue stripes under his eyes. But this guy's hooked quite deeply, so I just managed to clip that line off. I'm sure that hook will be all right, and we're just going to revive him a little bit. But these fish are generally strong, and there we go. So that's a good sign. He's gone away. So we know these fish are here. Let's try and get one on the lure. Alright, winds come up quite strong. The northeast is pumping. River's a bit dirty and very warm. So that concludes a great little session on the old pond or Umtumvuna River this morning. And lovely rock salmon. That was definitely worth the trip. And those perch were not too bad either. So catch us for some more river action.